Hey everyone, thanks for joining me. I'm Morty from Eat God's Way with Traditional Cooking School, and I'm joined today by Lori B. Hi, Lori.
I'm Lordy.
I am so excited to chat with you today, Lori, and share your story, which I don't even know all the details of with everybody who's watching, because you've had a wonderful transformation joining our Eat God's Way cooking program. In fact, in recent memory, there's probably only a handful of our students that I think have accomplished as much as you in such a little time. And so we're just really proud of all you've done. So we're just going to talk about your story today. Sound good?
Thank you. Yes, sounds great.
Okay, wonderful. Well, let's start. If you would just share a little bit about yourself and your family, whatever you feel comfortable, just to kind of set the stage for what your life is like.
Okay. Well, I am mother of four, grandmother of nine, and just at home here we have my husband and I. So anyway, also seven in my family. So I was the oldest of seven. So I am used to cooking large, and I love batch cooking, throwing things in the freezer and that kind of thing. So it's been hard for me to scale back.
Cooking for fewer people, because most of the time you're cooking for two.
Right.
Okay, okay. Well, what a blessing to have so many grandchildren. I just can't think of anything more wonderful than that. Okay, so go ahead. What were you going to say?
Oh, I just said we enjoy our grandchildren so much. So
Yeah.
they range in age from Spencer, who is married. He's in his 20s. He's married, and then our youngest, we have a set of twins. But the youngest and they are in third grade, 9 years old this year.
Oh, that just sounds wonderful. And I do wanna comment on you being the oldest of 7. It's making a lot of sense for me now why you've accomplished so much because you are the first child
The
who
firstborn,
I'm a
yeah.
first child too, and we tend to be very productive and very responsible. So
Yeah.
that's great we have that in common. Okay, well, so in looking back at our records, looks like you joined Eat God's Way in September of 2023. So, what were you looking for? What was going on at the time that made you want to do it?
Well, I was having some gut health issues. And so I just started, I thought, what can I do about that? So I just started researching and I ran across your video with Dr. Smith. And then that just started the ball rolling with traditional cooking. I wanted to take charge of that bloated gut feeling that I have. And so I thought, I want to do this traditional cooking. In the summer, I guess I found the video in the summer of 23, but I wasn't able to commit to the class until September. We had a lot going on that summer. So the first class I wanted to take was the ancient grain class. That just intrigued me so much. Eat God's way. And so that's what really inspired me to explore those ancient grains. And then that was a 12-week course. So I thought, okay, I'll sign up for 12 weeks and talk my husband into it. And so then I thought, okay, I only have 12 weeks because he won't want me to re sign up for it. So then I took as many classes as I could because I
Yes.
didn't know anything about sourdough. And you have to have a sourdough starter for being the greatest class. So I got the fundamentals class started, and then I got the sourdough class started, and I was doing ancient grains all at the same time. But I had a lot of fun with it. It was great. And I think I even started one of the women's health courses at that time too. And then the Thanksgiving challenge came up, and of course I had to do that one too. So, and then I also got a looming surgery pending. That happened on the day before Thanksgiving. So all of that, I thought I just have to get as much done as possible. So I was just booking through those classes and learning so much. And I had a freezer full of food when I had surgery, and I had a Thanksgiving meal already, all thawed out for Kevin, pop it in the oven on Thanksgiving Day. And I didn't feel like eating much, but he had a Thanksgiving dinner. So that's what motivated me.
Oh, I love it. So just people listening here, everybody has a different pace. So Lori's really a go-getter. She did a lot. 12 weeks, but just we don't have that expectation. We don't really have that expectation of anyone, but if anybody wants to, of course they can. So don't feel the pressure of it. Just be listening and gleaning what you can from Lori. So, Lori, if you don't mind, because I'm a real nuts and bolts kind of person, how did you do that? Like, how did you do so many classes at one time? Did you have a strategy, days devoted to this or that? What did that look like exactly?
Well, the classes are designed so great. They kind of go together. You're just collecting all of the information that you need or all of the resources that you need initially. And then it's just like one builds up the other and you can create meals. So they all just work together so well. And I want to compliment you on the way that you structure the courses. I feel like I was taking college classes. I mean, the science that you explore behind, the traditional cooking is just so helpful. And you feel like you're not only learning how to cook, but you're gaining some knowledge about the science of cooking, I guess. So yeah, I just learned so much.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for your kind words there. Appreciate it. So let's just focus on the first 12 weeks then, on like what came out of it. Like, how did your gut feel? What did your family think about what you're making? Talk to us about some of your wins.
Yeah, my gut started feeling a lot better just before surgery. I had lost about 5 pounds, which was great. Not to be too graphic, but I was eliminating regularly. And
Yeah, that's huge.
it, it was yeah. So yeah, it was very helpful. And then after surgery, my husband started feeding me, and so then I kind of lost all of that. So in January, then I just decided that I would get back into it. I just missed office hours. I missed cooking traditionally. I was tired of laying around convalescing. And so I just needed something to do again. So I signed up for the whole year because it's more economical that way. And I'm committed and I don't have to go so fast now. I can just relax and take the classes like I want to.
But I mean, I just want to say your gut feeling better and proper elimination, losing
Yes.
5 pounds, having
Mhm.
that freezer full. So your husband still had Thanksgiving, even though you were laid up. And so then you have a freezer full for your recovery, at least for it sounds like it lasted for some time.
It did, yeah,
I
it
mean,
did.
those are huge. Actually, those are really a big deal. So great job with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so continue with any other wins that came out from then to now.
So I have just been learning a lot. My wins a lot of times end up because I've made mistakes. So, for example, when I was growing up, I was the baker in the family, and I really wanted to master sourdough baking. And I end up making a lot of doorstops and hockey pucks. But I learned from them. So, for example, I'm going through the sourdough class again more slowly this time. And the bucket bread was something that I had to make last week. And I decided to throw the batch together on Friday night, Saturday morning. I had a event that I was going to go to, a sewing day with the guild members that I have a relationship with. And anyway, we were making charity quilts and we were taking potlucks. So I thought, well, I'll make cinnamon rolls. So I took that bucket dough out and put my crispy nuts on it and cinnamon and raisins and rolled it up and sliced it up. And the dough was still cold. And I put it in a 400-degree oven. So yeah, it didn't turn out so good. I should have tasted it better before I took them, but yeah. Anyway, I didn't get any compliments. So
But you
so
learned.
I learned, yeah, to let that dough
Yeah.
warm up to room temperature at least
Yeah.
minimally. Probably should have let it rise a little bit before I popped it in the oven, but anyway.
Yeah. Well, we have all been there. I appreciate your honesty because honestly, not all rainbows and sunshine when you're learning to cook. And
Mhm.
I've been at it all these years and I still meat ends up tough or bread is overbaked or doesn't rise. I mean, there's just it's a
Mhm.
beautiful process. And there's sometimes factors beyond our control, and then we are growing in our intuition and we're growing in our skills and, what to do. So, I consider that a win, Lori, especially since I've heard and seen about all the things that you've done that your family has enjoyed and that, you've raved about. So, that's
Mhm.
just water under the bridge and lesson learned, right?
Lesson learned. I had a success last week I should tell you about. So
Yeah.
my granddaughter is wrestling, which kind of interesting. It's all girls here in the wrestling team. So I'm really proud of her. She's really doing well. But anyway, the whole family came to Manchester where we live. I just invited him to come to dinner. And I made those yummy hamburgers with all of the spices in it, the grass fed hamburgers. And
Yes.
I made them on Sunday and then I reheated them that day. And my daughter in law asked me about the recipe, asked me what spices we used. So I showed her the book. And then I mentioned that I reheated them. I made them on Sunday and reheated them, and her jaw just dropped. She said, I could never reheat hamburgers for my family. They didn't taste reheated. How did you do that? So anyway, that was a win. I also made those potatoes, Hanayas, if I'm not saying that correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, her recipe with the potatoes and sweet potatoes, and they loved those too. So
Was it the oven roasted ones or was
yeah,
it like the
good one.
Instant Pot ones? The oven
No, they
roast.
haven't
Oh, yeah,
roasted.
so
Yeah,
good.
they are really yummy. Yeah. So yeah, that was a
Um,
win.
Good. So have you seen all this time that you're slowly winning over your family?
Mhm. Slowly, yeah, slowly. My husband is the hardest one to win over because grass-fed meat isn't something that he's ever thought that he would enjoy because he was a farmer for so long and we live in the corn belt and he just hasn't ever really been on board for grass-fed. But I explained to him the ratio between the omega-3 to omega-6 and how much better it is for us. So
So about your husband, you were saying he didn't know much or grew up with grass-fed
right. So
farmer, but now
yeah,
he's eating it.
right, and he does enjoy the hamburgers. So, yeah, I'm cooking with it anyway. I have a chicken yesterday, and I said, "So are you gonna eat chicken for supper tonight?" And he's like, "Yeah." So, he liked it, it's fine.
Good. So far he's doing
Yeah,
great switching over to grass-fed pastured meats.
mhm, yep.
Yeah.
He doesn't believe in it, but you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
he grew the GMO corn and thought that he was doing a good thing by
Yeah.
eating food for people, but
Yeah.
anyways, that's a hard
Well,
thing.
it is a hard thing because there are so many good-hearted people around the world who they are trying to do their best, and they've been given all this false information, and the farmers are if they don't know, they're
Mhm,
doing their best. So, what can you say? It's just like but then are they open to change
mhm.
when presented with good information? And that's what you're doing right now is you're
Yeah.
feeding him and winning him over slowly. So, you
Totally.
know, it's never too late.
No. Well, I just say thank God for the farmers that are making a difference and providing the grass-fed meat for us.
Right. Giving us options.
Mhm,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
Right.
Well, we are so proud of you, Lori. You've just done amazing. You've done so many of the classes. You're always sharing your results, which is encouraging to the team
Mhm,
and encouraging to our other students. So thank you so much for that. Would you
mhm.
add anything else from your journey that you want to share?
I've just enjoyed it so much, and I'm looking forward to being a part of this for the whole year and seeing what else I can learn. And hopefully, I will perfect some of these.
You will. You definitely will. I want to take this opportunity to thank you because you are the reason we are doing live cooking together at office hours on Mondays because you suggested it. And I think it's crossed my mind, and I've been like, oh, then I need to be more on the ball about what we're doing and whatnot. But then once you sent in the email, I was like, how hard can it be to plan a week ahead, Wardy?
Well, well, even the
Let's make this
videos,
happen.
yeah, even the videos that I watch on sometimes I'll try to cook along with those as well. The ones from you when you were a young mom, I love watching those videos. You so, yeah, I'll just kinda try to cook along. It's, more fun, I think, than sitting and watching it and then going back to the kitchen and trying to make some. It works well.
Agreed. And I don't know if I've told you yet, but thank you for sending in your photo because you cooked along like later to the replay and you sent a photo of what you
Oh.
made and the computer screen to show I'm watching the video and making it. And
Yes,
that's just
I work
great.
on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and so, yeah, so I try to watch the replay on Tuesdays or Wednesday night or whatever.
So what is next for you? What do you look forward to this year? And granted, you don't have our whole teaching schedule because we don't have the whole year planned out. We
Mhm,
do a few months at a time. So I
mhm,
can't tell you everything that's coming, but what are your interests?
mhm,
And we do have quite a selection for you still left to explore.
mhm. You do. I'm starting the Instapot class or the pressure cooking class. to try to
Mhm.
get a handle on my pressure cooking. That scared me initially. But yeah, my mom had an old pot on the stove, pressure cooker, and that thing scared me. It was loud and whistled, and then dad was always saying, "Back up, stay away from it," that kind of thing. So I think natural fear. But man, the Instant Pot makes it easy. I cooked eggs yesterday. It was great.
Hard-boiled egg?
Yes, amazing. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, as we wrap up here, let me just ask you if you're thinking about people that might also benefit from Eat God's Way, who do you think that would be?
Everybody. Yes, people are talking all the time about how it's helping their health issues. So you read little bits and pieces of how in the chats, how it's helping people or and eat God's way. How can you go wrong, right?
Right. He made it for us.
Exactly.
Yeah, I completely agree. Okay, well, thank you so much for your time, Lori. I think your journey is going to be very encouraging to a lot of people who probably the go-getters, but also the people that are struggling with family members who might not be on board, just to be encouraged that you're not alone, that some families are perfect, but most aren't. And
That's so
families
true.
that are full of grown adults, we can't force things on them. We can just do what we're supposed to do, which is the work God has given us to do, and pray for them, provide the good food, and let them come to it on their own if they ever do. They may not. We're not in control of them. So you are a positive example of how to handle that. So that's very encouraging as well. And then we're so happy for your gut feeling better and you sailing through the surgery with a freezer full of foods. You're just a wonderful example. Thanks for sharing all that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lori. Well,
Mhm.
everyone, if you're listening and you are encouraged by this and you'd like more information about any of our Eat God's Way classes, just reach out by text or email. I'll provide my email and text number with this video, and we will be happy to share current enrollment dates and more information about our classes. God bless you, everyone. Bye bye.